Since we started operations in 2017, we commenced surplus distribution in 2019. It was April 2019. And consistently, we have distributed surplus up to the tune now. I think after today, we would have done 1.3 billion naira. And that is thanks to the support of every participant.
Noor Takaful Insurance Limited, one of Nigeria's leading composite takaful operators, held its 2026 annual surplus distribution ceremony in Lagos. It brought together stakeholders in the takaful and the Nigerian insurance industry ecosystem and an opportunity to reflect over Noor Takaful in deepening insurance penetration to the underinsured ethical investors. The event featured remarks from the leadership of Noor Takaful on the surplus distribution and key regulators in the insurance space in the country.
The opportunity ahead is enormous. Millions of Nigerians remain without adequate insurance protection. Millions continue to pay directly for healthcare, and many are still unaware that there's an alternative model built around fairness, mutuality, and shared value.
Deepen market penetration, leverage technology more effectively, and provide protection to millions of Nigerians who are currently uninsured. The future of takaful will depend not only on sound regulation, but also on bold leadership, strategic investment, and a commitment to long-term development. At this junction, permit me, Mr. Chair, to reiterate that the National Insurance Commission remains committed to providing an enabling regulatory environment that promotes innovation, stability, inclusion, and sustainable growth. We will continue to work with operators and stakeholders to support responsible market development while maintaining high standards of governance, accountability, professionalism, prudent fund management, and regulatory compliance.
So let me make a commitment on behalf of the board. Every year, whether the outcome pleases us or not, Noor Health will account to participants for the risk fund's performance and surplus computation. You will know what came in, what was paid, and what was retained, and why. When there's a distributable surplus, eligible participants will share in it. When there is none, they will know why. Transparency should not appear only when there is good news. This is the discipline of this model, and we intend to uphold it. Now to gratitude.
Every policy, every plan taken in 2024, we have to wait for that plan to expire. That plan, the last plan of 2024, was taken on December 31st, 2024, and it's a one-year plan. So that plan is only going to end on December 31st, 2025. So we can only start the process of 2024 on 1st of January, 2026. Hence why we're celebrating it in 2026. Contributing to a fund. This fund does not belong to the takaful operator. This fund belongs to everybody who has contributed into this pool. We, the takaful operator, we, the HMO operator, are only managing that asset on behalf of the participants who have contributed into the fund. And we continue to separate that from our books. Hence why we say you can either benefit from a claim or you can benefit from a surplus. So at the end of the year, we would have taken out all the claims that would have distributed. So if you have had a car accident, and like I talked earlier on, a coconut falls on your car, you don't have to be a necessarily bad driver. A coconut can easily fall on your car, and then you can make a claim. There can be a death claim. There can be several types of claims which we should have settled. At the end of the year, we would have a balance on the fund, or it is expected that we would have a balance on the fund. Where we have a balance on the fund, we go through accounting, actuarial, Sharia approvals, and finally regulatory approvals. Then we would distribute that balance to those individuals, those corporates who have not made a claim on their fund. And it changes on an annual basis. So it's the residue of it. And we keep on saying, yes, surplus is a fantastic thing. It's actually not the most important thing. The most important thing is the claims, which is why at Noor Takaful we continuously celebrate the claims. Because really and truly, the claim is very, very important for anybody who makes it. At that point in time, on that particular issue, they need help, they need assistance. Their business may need it, their family may need it, their classmates may need it, depending on what policy they do. So, alhamdulillah, since we started operations in 2017, we commenced surplus distribution in 2019. It was April 2019. And consistently, we have distributed surplus up to the tune now. I think after today, we would have done 1.3 billion naira. And that is thanks to the support of every participant.
Highlight of the event was the formal distribution of surplus for 2026, a milestone first ever Noor Health surplus distribution, and the official launch of the book Takaful Business Operations in Africa.
I heard there's an ED of Alternative Bank also here present. I would appreciate Mrs. Korede Demola Adeni. Mrs. Korede Demola Adeni. Okay, so join us on stage, please.
Testimonials from participants with Noor Takaful affirm the value that has been created in the industry.
Someone is rendering service to you and you are paying for that service, but you are not getting the value for that money, you get frustrated. That's how I got to know about Noor Takaful. And by the time we started doing business with them, I discovered that there's difference between the former service provider and this one. Because anytime you request any information from Noor Takaful, they will respond almost immediately. And this is a very wonderful experience. So I need to commend them because what they are doing a very wonderful job.
Even their staffs, the courtesy, the response, the respect is all over. And the service delivery is top notch. Now let me talk about claim. We are all aware of the claim that happened in December 24th, the GNI claim at the Lagos Island, because Adosa Insurance Brokers is a subsidiary of Adosa Microfinance or Adosa Group. So we have microfinance bank and finance house and asset management. So we have a lot of customers that were affected as a result of that fire incident at the GNI house. But I'm happy to announce to this gathering that among all the insurance companies, Noor Takaful was forced to pay all their claims. And they did it seamlessly. You don't need to run after the MD or call the chairman. They have a conveyor belt that is working perfectly. That you don't need to call anybody. Once your claims are genuine, once the documentations are complete, be rest assured that your account will be credited. My charge to them today, please, you are up there. You need to keep on innovating and you must keep on creating new ideas to sustain your good work. Once again, congratulations.
Some of the executives, industry leaders, and regulators shared their perspectives on the 2026 Noor Takaful surplus distribution.
The event that you are witnessing today is one that we are always proud to have on a yearly basis. It's a promise kept to our customers, whom we had promised the inception of our contracts with them based on the Takaful model, that when a portfolio is profitable, something comes back to them. So we're always happy to do this. And more so, I think it's also important as a trailblazer, we set the tone and we set the pace as far as the Takaful industry in Nigeria is concerned today. Now we are about 5 Takaful operators in Nigeria. As of today, 4 out of the 5 have distributed surplus. So it's something that we're always happy to talk about. And that's why you see us having this kind of event. And beyond surplus distribution, if you look at the theme of the event, it's also celebrating claims. The primary responsibility of an insurance company is to settle claims, and not just to settle claims, to settle claims promptly. And that's something that has endeared us as an operator in the insurance industry in Nigeria to all our partners, be it broker, participants, and even some public sector accounts that we have actually participated on. We've been able to prove to the insuring public that our word is our bond. When we promise something, we deliver on it.
The Alternative Bank and Noor Takaful come a long way, and we call it a partnership. And the rewards of the partnership, some of it we have seen here today, and there are other ways we are also having a fruitful relationship from the combination of the partnerships. We're delighted about the funds we've received again today. What it is that this has been consistent over time. So it's good to work with a partner that you know that they have the same values as your institution, the Alternative Bank, and we really look forward to bigger things from this relationship. Congratulations to Noor Takaful, and I think as we say congratulations to them, we're also looking forward to also working better together as the years go by.
A lot of reforms are ongoing for the Takaful segment, which is relevant to the insurance industry. We started a lot of reform. One is we increased the minimum capital requirements for Takaful companies in 2023. All the companies have complied, and so that's to ensure that they are financially sound to fulfill their promises to Nigerians. The other thing we've done again is to also say that, look, we need to create very clear boundaries between Takaful and conventional insurers, such that either party can, evolve, can provide products and services to Nigerians within the regulatory framework that guides that segment of the country. And we're now moving on to the governance side, where we're making requirements for fit and proper. In essence, if you are not fit and proper, you can't participate in that segment. All these are meant to ensure that people who will handle premium payments or contributions from Nigeria, or who provide services to Nigeria in that segment of the insurance sector, are people who are proper, people who understand their obligations, people who understand the risk, and that can provide the requisite services that will ensure that in the event that Nigerians now have to fall back on the promise that is made by a Takaful company, the Takaful company is also there to fulfill those promises.
The Noor Takaful Insurance Limited 2026 surplus distribution ceremony highlights the growing commercial viability and trust in non-insurance insurance within Nigeria. By distributing 427 million naira in surplus payouts to eligible participants for the 2025 financial year, alongside a landmark maiden payout by its sister HMO, Noor Health, the firm has now returned over 1.3 billion naira in cumulative surplus to policyholders, while settling roughly 22 billion naira in total claims. This milestone underscores a bright outlook for the Takaful sector in Nigeria.